Hey guys, welcome back. Jared at 3Cs. Super excited. The 2027s are starting to show up. This is our first batch, so stay tuned to the channel. Every model that comes in, we're going to do a full-blown review video just like this. So hit subscribe, stay tuned to what we're doing. But this is the 2027 Beta Cross Trainer and the same exact bike in the lowboy. So I'm glad I got one of each in today. So in a minute we can determine the seat height difference, because ultimately that's the only difference between a cross trainer and a lowboy is just the seat height. So a lot of people would buy the regular bike and then we'd be lowering it for them. Now we get it at the standard MSRP. It doesn't cost extra money. It's already done. Normally that would have been like $800 to $900 to have a bike lowered. So huge savings for that customer. And great news, 2027, the price did not go up. So we're still at $89.99 for a brand new Beta Cross Trainer. So congrats to Beta and thanks to Beta for not making the price go up any. So let's jump into this and check out these bikes. Okay, well I have a second set of hands. Let's do the first things first and get you guys seat heights, because that's always a pretty big talking point. I'm going to push down on the seat a couple times. Now come on in, Chris, and let's check this thing out. So if you bring the camera right on in and we try to get seat height there, yeah, 36 and a half, 30, so I'm going to say 36 and a half. That's pretty safe. Now keep in mind that as you ride these bikes for even 5 hours, everything settles so much. It's such a difference. So of course this is the lowboy, and the only real way you can tell as a customer is it's got one decal on it, other than just physically looking at it and making that determination. And if I didn't push down on this one as much, there we go. So I'm thinking 35, like straight across the top of that seat. I can see the 35 on there. So we were at 36 and a half, right? I think there, so 35. So about 1.5 inches. And that's pretty true. It's not a 2-inch lowering kit. It's just the lowboy. So got that part done. So now that we know the height of the bikes, let's check out the features. We'll just walk around the standard model. The lowboy is identical when it comes to these features. So right up front, you got the Midas tires, front and rear this year. Billet hubs, really nice wheel spacers. They never really pack full of dirt. Huge fan of the Beta wheel spacers. Right into the Nissan brakes there. So the same exact brakes and the same quality that you get on the standard RR and the race editions carries over to the cross trainer. One of the big things this year is all new headlight. It's LED. As soon as I started the bike in the back, even with just like the crate in front of it, I already could tell it's a completely different headlight and a different mask look. It's more of like a dish there. Got your horn hidden behind there. 2 full-size radiators with your fill cap, super easy to get to, and you can check that and monitor your level. So I really appreciate where that's located. You got your cooling fan kit. Always comes on when it needs. There's our sensor that turns it on. We have been putting more and more cooling fan kits on all of the 2-strokes, so it's kind of nice. Cross trainer's already going to come with it. It's very easy to get to the spark plug. You can see tucked up under there. Actually, the other side, when we go over there, you'll see you can easily get to that plug. Not very often are you guys changing the spark plugs, but it is nice to know. It is easy to get to. With all the Beta 2-strokes, you got the adjustable power valve, and we have video specifically on our channel talking about that and how much of a difference it actually makes. So don't be afraid to play with that. It's just a 5mm hex head, and you can screw it in or screw it out. And it's going to change the head of the power coming out of the motor. Oil changes on the 250 and the 300 chassis are so simple. So our oil drain bolt is literally right there. It's a 13mm drain bolt, and our fill is right here. So no matter what skid plate, if you get a hard enduro skid plate that has more protection and they're hard to get on and off, don't take the skid plate off. Just leave the skid plate straight on the bike. Very easy to get to. I'm so thankful they changed the stock pegs 2 years ago. We love these pegs. Even my guys with the race editions, for a while, they were going back to this peg. So it's a very good design. You can see your oil injection line. Now, when you buy a bike at 3Cs, we go through all this and we route these. I don't change the routing. We just make sure they're routed perfectly. Coming down around that car boot, we're nowhere near the shock. I've had a lot of bikes come in to get serviced that weren't originally bought here, and that oil line's rubbing on that shock. Don't like to see that. So we take our time with that. They updated the rear brake hose here. So this is just a guide. I shouldn't say the brake hose, just the guide. Before it was a clip here and a clip up here. Now it actually holds the whole line still the whole way through. Don't worry, if you have an older bike and you want to retrofit this, just go to the 2027 parts diagram, buy this guide. It'll bolt directly onto your swing arm if you have an older bike. It's like 20 bucks. So go ahead and grab one of those if you want to. Nissan brakes in the back, again with a Midas tire. Now, what's funny is this is DOT. I read it earlier. I don't know where it is on the tire, but it is a softer compound, which is really nice for the cross trainer buyer, right? So we usually leave like 12 PSI in these when somebody buys it. You can air it down more, but they don't have a great heavy duty tube. So I don't like to go too low in the showroom. At least what I would do if it was my bike after the break-in and I was gonna go do some serious riding, I would really consider some heavy duty tubes in there. Tail light, brake light, really simple. Now this is fully removable. It's just 6 bolts, 2, 4, 6, and you could drop this whole tail fender, completely remove it. So, you know, if you're not riding at night, you don't need the tail light, you can save it, put it in the box. We love the chains. Ever since the beginning with Beta, they have that DID O-ring chain. This chain will easily last the life of these sprockets. You might adjust it twice, like an initial stretch, and then like 40 hours later, you'll adjust it again. But the Beta stock chains, all of the kids' race bikes this year, we have not changed that at all. So stock chain sprockets on all of our race bikes even. It's got the nice kickstand that comes up, and it's got the holder. If you're wondering what that is, that holds the kickstand in the upright position. So if you're doing some aggressive riding, the kickstand doesn't come down on you. And what you'll notice I haven't really touched on yet is it's a new layout. I like it. It's really clean. Like the black frame kind of hides behind it, and it lets the shrouds really stand out on their own. So big fan. I'm not sure I was in love with the black frame in the videos or the pictures. I am in love with it now. Having it here, I actually really like that black frame. It just kind of hides everything, which is nice. All new chain guide in the front. So they say it's sturdier, cleans out better. So I'm not sure I'll talk too much about that because usually we throw those away. Beta makes a really nice slave cylinder guard right here. It's like 50 bucks, somewhere in there. Billet, nice. This usually comes off and gets thrown in a box. It's got the V-Force force hidden behind the fuel line there. And this is where I was talking about getting to that spark plug. Look how easy that is. You can pop the boot off, unscrew that thing, throw it back down. This is our fuel shutoff. You'll see 3 options, and I'll turn it so you can see the other one. It's called reserve back there. And every video, if you've watched my videos in the past, we run all of our bikes on reserve all of the time. Because that fuel petcock, if I unscrew that and drop it down, straw is extremely tall. So at about half a tank, you will run out of gas if you were on. So I'm gonna turn it off for now, but we would recommend running your bike on reserve. Easy to get to the choke right on the front side of the carburetor. Now, I can actually take these carbs out of this bike without even tipping the subframe. If you loosen your Phillips and your regular screwdriver there, clamp, pull it right out. I can rock the carb out. I can have the carb out of this bike in like 4 minutes, have it cleaned back in. So really appreciate how open this is, and there's not a lot of stuff blocking the carburetor. So very easy to service, standard gear shifter. This motor in general has been pretty untouched since like 2020. It's been bulletproof through all the different product lines. So very happy with the engine on this thing. Let's jump up and check out the handlebars. So we have left-hand control. Again, this really not a lot of new stuff up here for 27. High beam, low beam, horn, left, right turn signals, because these bikes are pre-wired for turn signals. Even back here, we have the wires for the turn signals in this bike. And same with the front. So pretty simple to make these bikes street legal. You've got the wet and dry map. Now, this makes a big difference as of like 2 years ago. I never really thought the map switches did much until about 2 years ago, and now the map switch makes a really big difference. So, for example, dry map, if it's really nice out, like it's beautiful today here in Western New York, you know, if it was some fun single track, I would absolutely have that in the dry mode. Now this weekend we're going to a hare scramble, and it's going to rain for 3 days straight, and it's going to be kind of rocky there. You know, you might want to flick it into the rain mode, help control some throttle on those slippery rocks. So really appreciate that the map switch actually means something now. We have just a standard clutch lever up top, hydraulic of course. They updated this display last year. Last year it was all new. I'm not going to go too much into the display. It's been a pretty solid unit. Also, we changed the routing on your throttle cables on the Betas. I feel like this is a better spot for it. In fact, 2-3 years ago, Beta had a service bolt-in on this, but they come from the crate with these throttle cables on the other side of this display. And if you were to turn the bars, and I'll put a clip in here right now actually, so let's jump to that and you can check it out. So part of the setup here on the 27 XTrainers, and if we read, this is the 27 printed setup instructions. You're gonna see in 2 different spots, they've got the throttle cable routed over the top of the display, and they even continue to show that right there. but let me explain this, and this is something we've done in all of our videos with XTrainer. This is the way they have it in their video. It's kind of hovering over the top of the display there. And if we turn the bar all the way this way, we're okay. It's not too tight. But as we turn the handlebar this way, you can see all this stress it just put on that cable and looping around. And now we have hardly any free play left. I mean, it's not too tight yet, like it's still snapping all the way back, but that's really tight on that. And so the way we've always done these, and there was a service bolting on this at one point, that you can see how we route it down here next to the display. It's got a pocket, and this is how it was originally supposed to be done. We've got this here, and then if you turn it this way, we're not stressing it either. So I think this is the correct way to route the throttle cable on your XTrainer. So hopefully that clip made sense to you on how that really starts to pull on it. Where this, we have a ton of, our throttle free play is not changing at all. Really appreciate that. Then we just have our stop and start switch. Now, there is no key on these bikes. So as soon as we tap this button, the bike wants to start. So my way in the showroom of disconnecting the starter is I disconnect the negative terminal in the battery. And so that allows us to have these in the showroom and people don't start them and run away with them, not knowing what they're doing. And then this is your keys right here for the steering lock. So the steering lock, this is on this bottom. I was trying to get it. I got one hand here trying to make this a little bit easier to get to. There's your steering lock. I'm on the wrong side, but steering lock is right there. And let's check out underneath the seat here. So with one hand, it's really tough to do this. So you push the button and I'm just kind of pulling back. Let me get a better angle for you. Kind of pull back on the seat pops off, and I'll show you where it's grabbing. So the seat grabs here and it grabs here, and then it clips in right here on the back. So super easy to install and take the seat off, no tools needed. Nice lithium battery in these things. And then this is our oil fill. So these are a non-premix bike, so straight gas, straight oil. And then if I can, again, do one hand here, we can pull this off this side, pull it forward now, and ta-da, there's our air filter. So super easy to get to. You just pull this tab down, rock the air filter off. Now these cages are pretty restricted. So you know what, let's just show you. So if I push down on it, and I'm gonna switch hands with a gimbal, and look at how restricted that air filter cage is. So you can buy the standard 2-stroke air filter cage for like 20 bucks, and that would totally change the airflow going in. Now my hands are all greased. I'm gonna set it there for a minute. So I'll tidy that all right back up and we'll jump back to it. Another quick setup tip for you guys at home, if you're buying a new beta XTrainer, is you can see right here in the actual line, we added a check valve. Now this comes off the motocross line. It's an inline check valve versus the green cap, or maybe it's like a light blue now that they put underneath your gas cap, because eventually down inside your gas tank is where the stock check valve will end up. So we've done a lot of videos on it, and I'm always seeing like people on the chat forums like, oh, what's this thing into my gas tank? Well, we don't even sell them with it in there. So I'd remove the green check valve stock and I would replace it with what comes off the motocross line. But if you buy it here, it's already been done, so you don't have to worry about it. So that pretty much covers all the features. Comes with this skid plate. You can add whatever hand guard you want. You can add whatever radiator guards you want. But right here at the end, I could start this bike and let it run for you guys. So sometimes I'll use the choke. We did have these bikes running in the back about 20 minutes ago, just kind of setting them up. We got adequate throttle free play. And to change that, you would just loosen this GM nut right here, take the throttle cable away. It would give you less free play. Either spot there feels pretty good to me. So pretty happy with that free play for the customer. And this is that new LED headlight, which might be hard to see. And my film is making that look like it's bouncing. LED versus my camera lens. Of course, both of these bikes are pre-sold, and the next 6 XTrainers to come in are actually all pre-sold. So thank you guys for choosing 3Cs. We're right here in Western New York. Love to be your beta dealer. At one point this year, we were the largest beta dealer in the country. So thanks for all the support. We really appreciate it. Enjoy the ride. See you in the trail.